Don't stop this concert. We're telling everyone that anti-Semitism is okay. First off, it's hard to believe we even have to do this. It's inconceivable that we actually have to have an event like this to ask people that are elected and appointed to actually do the right thing. Kanye West has been an outspoken anti-Semite and has even called himself a Nazi. That's not something we support in Florida, and it's certainly not something worthy of supporting by our tax dollars. Raymond James Stadium is a publicly funded venue. Taxpayers should have a say in what happens. It's actually their money. And I think with all the individuals here, I believe this shows the Tampa Bay Sports Authority they need to make the right decision. This is so simple. Okay? We should never allow anti-Semitism anywhere. And we have to stand up against it. And we all do. There's no, if you have a public venue, you don't get to go say, oh, I got to let everybody there. You do not. There's no law that says that. You don't have to let people that hate Jews show up. So why on earth would we use tax dollars to fund someone who has called himself a Nazi and praised Adolf Hitler? We shouldn't. We're not going to tolerate this. Are we going to support it? Absolutely not. We are not going to support it. People say, oh, it's just a concert. Oh, the Tampa Bay Sports Authority is going to make some money. Let people have their fun. Some of the worst sins in human history begin with the words, I was just. I was just going to a concert with my friends. I was just trying to make money. I was just following orders. No, you can't do that. If you're Jewish in this city, in this state, how do you feel? You feel like a second-class citizen, that people don't give a damn. They're attacking Judeo-Christian values. They're just going to start with Jews.
Welcome back to the channel, folks. And we are here. Then we got to talk about Mr. Kanye West. Looks like he's got himself into a little bit of a jam as of late. So he's in the middle right now of his Yay Live concert tour, which started April 1st of this year in Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium. But currently he's in Europe and he's having a little bit of looks like difficulty because apparently he's being banned from even entering certain countries. So we're going to talk about that and some of the reasons why and a couple other things that we don't usually talk about.
Is there anybody that ever bounced back from being canceled like him?
And that's really the underlying thing. There's this feeling of loyalty that's there. And we're right. You know what I mean? There's a feeling that everybody there is like, they're correct. Does that make sense? Like,
Yeah.
I saw a breakdown of it because my algorithm's feeding me Kanye stuff nonstop since I went to it because somehow fucking Instagram knows and whatever. And I watched a breakdown of it talking about how like it's like this psychiatrist or energy specialist or something that's talking about how and why this is the craziest concert ever done before. And she breaks it down and goes, people that like Kanye believe in themselves, because if Kanye's saying I'm the greatest, I'm the man, I'm a god, all of these things makes you not like him and you insecure, you're insecure. Does that make sense? Like it's like if that turns you off to somebody, then you don't really like yourself that much.
Why do you think that?
Well, again, this was someone else's psychological breakdown of it, and I'm probably not explaining it correct because I was stoned on a couch.
I
but
see what they would be saying to try to defend him, but there's some people that just get turned off by that kind of braggadocious rap music.
Feels like every single day I'm seeing a new headline on where Kanye is banned from either traveling to or performing, yet he's still got all these shows planned. So the question becomes, where exactly is he going to be performing where he doesn't get banned last minute? Halsey thinks that MetLife, Soldier Field, and AT&T Stadium are the most likely places for him to perform, but honestly, he's still got shows popping up all the time. I personally wouldn't pay a dime to see him, but other venues like MSG or Allegiant Stadium, the only thing that really matters is money talks at the end of it.
So in UK, their home office denied Kanye entrance, and it basically collapsed their wireless festival, which is their annual music festival that they have And also in Italy, something similar happened, but it was for Kanye and Travis Scott, who had two apparently back-to-back dates that were already filled to capacity. And there was a lot of pushback from these anti-Kanye activists, the Jewish community as well, anti-fascism, some consumer watchdog groups. But it pretty much throughout Europe, basically. And he was ultimately offered a deal with Albania, which he has accepted. And some people don't like that. So the entire show is expected to cost the Albanian government $4.5 million. However, it's expected to draw roughly 25,000 tourists for the venue, and it's expected to net over $100 million. So that's what we know at this very moment. That's all we had. But of course, some people are not happy about this as well. So we know Kanye has been a controversial figure here in America, apparently around the world as well. He has made some controversial statements. Early on, maybe it wasn't as bad. You know, he said he had Bush doesn't like black people during some telethon roughly 20 years ago. And then he fast forward, he would say slavery was an option. It was optional. So I think that's an interesting take. Or I'm sorry, slavery was a choice. That was his words. That's an interesting take on slavery. It doesn't seem like it was too much of a choice. Well, what were your options? Either complying or being unaligned. I don't think Massa was going to really be too lenient with you saying, hey, you know, this whole slavery thing just doesn't work with my schedule. I had some other things I had to do. But, you know, maybe Kanye can explain that a little better. He's pretty critical of Taylor Swift at some point, you know. It's interesting relationship there, starting with the BMAs, where he's interrupted her award acceptance speech, giving credit to Beyonce. Said Beyonce had apparently better music video that year. But more recently, he's made some anti-Semitic remarks that really didn't land that well, and it kind of makes us think about: is this free speech? What he's doing? He's free. Apparently, he's free to say these things or feel this way. But you know, what are your thoughts? Is that okay? He would later apologize for it and say it was part of some untreated mental health issue that he was dealing with. Maybe it was. I don't know. But what are your thoughts? Let me know down in the comments below. Yeah, apparently these European countries aren't as free as we are here in America to say that he's like that and still be allowed to perform. Still be allowed to have a show. Senator Rick Scott was speaking earlier, and he didn't appreciate it, but somehow Kanye was still able to perform in Tampa, Florida. You know, if this is still some type of remnants of the mental health situations that he was dealing with in years past, you know, things like it's kind of happening more on the world stage and instead of private. So I just want to take a minute to make the announcement that I have partnered with One Call Away, which is a company that will be offering one-on-one coaching sessions. So if you or anyone you know is having mental health issues, mental health concerns, you don't know where to go, where to start, even looking, you can reach out to me or leave me a comment below. I can reach out to you, or you can DM me, or I will leave a link, or you can reach out directly to One Call Away, and we will address the issue. Even if you know that we are not the right place to talk to someone, to at least get the ball rolling with finding resources in your area, in your community, or online, whichever way is most convenient, or the way according to your preferences. But this story seems to be about free speech versus people making a decision. I'm not one for anti-Semitic comments, but fortunately or unfortunately, in America, you're able to say how you feel. It doesn't mean that doesn't come with consequences, because apparently it does. Free speech, as they say, is not free, but we're supposed to be free to say how we feel, good or bad. And the price for free speech is having to listen to others' speech that we don't agree with. That's the price that we pay to exercise our free speech. Like I said earlier, it's not my cup of tea. I don't agree with some of the things he's said over the years, but it doesn't really matter what I agree with as far as what someone else is saying. That's his opinion. Now, when it crosses over to actions, I think there needs to be action once there are actions that are happening as a result. But at this point, it seems to be one man's opinion. And I think that the people who are turned off by that won't go to the show. They won't buy his music. They won't listen to his music. He seemed to be okay with that. So, I mean, it's hard for me to take Kanye, personally, it's hard for me to take Kanye too seriously, one way or the other. He seems to say one extreme on one instance, say another on another instance. Which one's the real Kanye? Is he trolling us all? Is this all marketing to get us to weigh in on his wild swings, emotional, his pivots on certain topics? I haven't been to a show myself, but I hear he has these friends where he goes off on feeling society has slighted him in some way. But that sounds pretty consistent with everything else he's said and done. But I guess that's the time that we live in. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that the people should speak for themselves, or do you think that the governments, including U.S. governments, should stop him from performing to protect our ears from hearing possible anti-Semitic rhetoric? Maybe he didn't really feel sorry when he said sorry. He may say it again, or this is still the penalty from the prior time to saying things. I'm not sure exactly. But what are your thoughts? Do you think that just the people that are turned off, be turned off? Is that penalty enough, or do you think the government should step in to say, hey, no, you cannot perform here either? But whatever your thoughts are, please leave in the comments below. I would love to hear from you all. But that's all we have for today. And thank you all for watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe.